Today's episode is brought to you by Babbel. Babbel is out there trying to help you learn a new language. Also, today we're brought to you by HelloFresh. HelloFresh is trying to make fresh eating something you can do at home and easy. We'll talk about that too. Now let's jump into this podcast.
Hello, everybody, it's time for Ghost and Crendor.
Ghost and Crendor in the morning.
In the morning. Broadcasting live. Before our recording studio audience. Recording. Wake your ass up, it's up next Crendor in the morning.
Hello, everybody. Exciting episode. Whoa, what did I just... Hello, everybody. Exciting episode. Hello, everybody. Exciting episode. Cooks and Crendor. #1 podcast.
Hello. Exciting episode today. Big news, big story, little content.
Big story, little content, giant bear. Lots of vodka.
Whoa, that's very true. Lots of vodka.
Normally that's true.
Yeah.
So, hi.
Hey, hi.
Boy, do I have a lot of stories.
All right. Well, if you got a lot of stories, let me do mine first, because mine aren't
Okay.
great. So my stories involve just having a good time. So
Wait, what? Wait, what? You were like, let me go first. My story involves long pause, having a good time.
yes.
Okay.
So
okay.
let's see. On Monday, last week we actually went out to eat because it was my birthday. So I've turned 32 years old.
Congratulations,
and
old man. Congrats.
Thank you. It's, like to you, I'm still young because you're like,
You are.
You got many years on me. But now to like most of the internet, I'm old because so many like Twitch streamers and YouTubers now, they're like 22. And I'm like, oh my God, 22? Like that's whew.
Yeah,
but
it
here's the
hurts,
thing,
doesn't
it's
it?
like,
Yeah, it sucks.
but it's like, it's one of those things where no matter your age, there's always someone older than you, right? So like, you get like 70 and someone's like, 70? I was that 20 years ago, and they're 90, right? So like, someone's like,
there's a lot less, let's be honest. Over time, there's a lot less people older than you.
That's true. But still, there's always someone older than you. Anyway, so we went out to eat. We're at this restaurant, and this girl walked by, and it's one of those things where I just write down the quotes I hear, right? And she just said out loud, I love water.
Well, that's a hydro homie right there. I feel that. I sometimes shout, I love water.
When have you shouted, I love water?
Oh my God. About, an hour ago when I ran out of it and realized how much I love water. I was like, I got no more, because I'm in LA, so, tap water.
Oh, that's true.
It's like...
Hard to come by.
Yeah, so...
Well, good tap water's hard to come by.
Yeah, all of my water is gone. And so I drank a soda for the first time in a while, and it's like it's too sweet. It's like not great. It's still sitting here. I'm looking at it. It's a Sprite. It is, I wish I had water is what I'm saying. I'm a little angry that they defiled water to make this. Yeah. I don't think we're going to get a Sprite contract. I'm going to let you know.
I don't think we're going to get one either. That's okay. That's fine. Anyway, I guess that's not weird, but I thought it was funny when it happened. Maybe I was like a wine in already, so you're, already a glass of wine in. You're like, water. Gotta write that down. Hit or miss. Sometimes you write these down and you get the good stuff. Now,
right.
Person at the other table. This is a better one. Was wearing a cowboy hat. All right. I don't know if this was like a group of coworkers or like a get together of friends or whatever, but it was like 8, probably like 40 to 60-year-old people. And 2 of them, I want to say, were like late 50s. And it was just this one woman who looked like your standard like veterinarian receptionist, and another woman or another man who looked like a cowboy. And he looked like a veteran cowboy. Like he's been wrangling bulls.
A receptionist and a veteran cowboy. Yeah, no, that checks out.
Like he's been wrangling cattle and bulls and stuff for years. And he had his cowboy hat, and he was talking to the other guy there who just looks like some guy you'd see at the I don't know, just like some random dude bro at the office, but he's like 40, which is why I think they were working together. But it doesn't make sense. I'm like, why is there a cowboy, a veterinarian assistant, and like this dude bro guy? So maybe it's friends. I don't know.
Maybe it's a joke. Maybe you walked into a joke.
Maybe
a cowboy,
I did.
a veterinarian, and a Crendor walk into a bar.
It's possible because the guy at the table was possibly me in like 20 years because he was like, I had IBS. Like, really loud. He's like, I had IBS, and it's gotten better. But, like, whenever I'm getting these migraines, but the migraines are getting better now, too. And I was like, dude, this guy is me in 20 years. It's got to be me. It was just weird hearing someone else talk about migraines and IBS, and it's not me on this show. It was a weird time.
I love that you found, like, a kindred spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a good time. Then we went back to the Ren Fair because last week we only got to go for like an hour and a half because I had to come back and do a brand deal. So I was like, all right, well, let's come back next week. So this week we came back. We stayed for like 4 hours. So it was like a big honkin' Ren Fair time. And so one thing I heard was these two guys walking, just like two big, like, motorcycle buff dudes, shirts off, of course. And he was like, dude, can I smoke here? Is it all right to smoke? He's like, yo, they got a smoke area over there, man. They got a smoke area over there. Everybody good? And then he's like, hey, yo, I got to pee. And he's like, Jackson's got to pee. And he's like, fucking Jackson.
I mean, right?
I don't know why. It just made me laugh because it was like these dudes were like, they were pretty far in the bag. And just the annoyance of Jackson having to pee just ruined his moment.
I mean, Jackson, you know.
Like, come on, Jackson.
Come on, Jackson.
Then there was like this group of people, and this one girl was like, it's going to be okay, but then he puts your heart and soul. That's all I heard. What? It's going to be okay, but then he puts your heart and soul. And I didn't know what it meant. So I wrote it down. I thought you would know.
It's going to be okay, but then he puts your heart and soul?
Yes.
I mean, obvious spell casting witchery. You were at a Renaissance fair.
That's true. They could be casting spells. I didn't even think of that.
Or they're just like Critical Role fans. I feel like no matter what, if you're at a Renaissance fair and someone says something weird, if you say, oh, those are just Critical Role fans, it will most likely pan out to be true.
You got a point.
I feel like you can just say that about a lot of that space and be like, oh, they're just Critical Role fans. And everyone will be like, oh, okay.
You probably didn't crack the code. I still got to take you to the Ren Fair. I can't believe you've never been to a Ren Fair.
I would love to go. I would love to go to a Ren Fair. I've never been to one.
It's going to happen. I
don't know how I would handle it. I feel like most of the time I'd be like, what the hell is going on? What is
Probably
this? Would. I'd be like, why are you dressed up like this? What is going on?
I got some like garlic mushrooms, and he was like, my lord, your mushrooms. And then he like spilled some of them, and he was like, no. And I was like, it's all good, man. It's almost the end of the day. And then he was like, I will give you more mushrooms. I was like, thanks.
I have failed in my quest to procure mushrooms for thee.
You know what? I think he gave me more mushrooms than spilled out. So it was like, I really was the true winner there.
You really were. I mean, although I do question if the whole experience was a win, but I guess you got mushrooms. So
I did. I think it was. I love the Ren Fair. It's great. Big fan. It was just hot as shit. Oh my god, it was like 92 and like 85% humidity. It was like a swamp. It was, ooh, man. Yeah, it was hot, but still a good time.
I don't. Good time seems relative when you're out in that heat. I would have been like, I need 18 beers, my lord.
Well, I had 2 beers, but that was all I wanted because I was like, more than this, I'm gonna get dehydrated, and it's hot.
I would have screwed up. I would have kept drinking beers because I was thirsty and getting dehydrated, and it only would have gotten worse. And so I would have been the guy jumping in to like fight the mudmen I'd be like, get out of here, mudmen! I shall slayeth thee with my axe.
Mom, this drunk man's in the mud. I don't know. Throw tomatoes at him.
Stop throwing tomatoes at me, wench!
There actually is a guy you can throw tomatoes at for $5, and he like hurls insults at you.
That sounds great.
He's like,
lovely.
"Where's dude? You throwing with the plaid shirt? Where did you get that at? The Gap?" They'll just like yell.
How does he know the Gap?
Nobody knows. But
oh my God, is he a future man? Is that, is that why he's being like strung up like that? Because he's a witch.
It's possible. So
again, Critical Role. It could be a Critical Role fan. It's a Critical Role thing.
Yeah. So those are my stories. So I got them out of the way now. Now you can roll yours.
Well, I have a very Crendor story. So
all right, great.
There was a bar near my office, a pub, if you will, that every Thursday they do turtle races.
Oh my God.
Here's the thing. I've yet to actually see the turtle races. But I was there on a Thursday, so I saw the setup for the turtle races. And, you know, I'm like 85 years old in cool kid years.
Yeah.
So we were there like after work hours, but we left at like 9. So, but like there were all these, you know, as the night went on, more and more people started to show up, and it was this crazy mixed crowd. But it was very obvious that there was a whole group that were kind of like young, and they looked young to the point where I honestly felt awkward. Not like, oh, I'm the old man here, but like these kids look like they're children. You know what I'm talking about? Where it's like they're like 21, probably maybe not. They probably have a fake ID. They look young.
Oh yeah.
And it was just like, oh, you look like a kid. You don't look like you should be out having a great time. You look like you should be, I don't know, studying. Don't you have something to do tomorrow? I don't know. It was it was awkward. But there were also like, you know, weirdos because it's LA. So there was like an eclectic crowd of people there. But at some point, while everyone was sort of gathering around to watch the turtles, and it still hadn't started yet. It was 9 p.m. Still hadn't started yet. This is what I heard. Some guy shout something and use the phrase TikTok. And then a random person goes, "Did I hear TikTok?" Wanders over to this group of guys, and they're all taking photos. And the guy's like, "Yo, you on TikTok?" And they're like, "I don't know, you on TikTok?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm on TikTok." And the guy's like, "I'm on TikTok too." And so they all start like talking about TikTok. And I'm just sitting there watching them like, this, I have to take notes. So I started writing down notes. And this one guy was like, "Yo, you want a picture?" And the guy was like, "Hell yeah, I want a picture." Then I started taking like pictures together. And then finally someone says, "Yo, you famous on TikTok?" And the other guy's like, "No, I just have a TikTok." And he's like, "Oh, oh, okay." And he like walked away. And as he walked away, he walked towards me, and his shirt read the following. It was a black shirt, and in white lettering said, "loser," but then the S was crossed out with a red V.
What?
So there you go. That's the guy. And I don't know how to describe this moment. It was so weird. It was just a bunch of dudes being like, "Yo, you TikTok? Yeah, I TikTok. You TikTok? I TikTok." And I was like, is this what it was like when we would go to parties and people were like, "You on YouTube, dude?" "Yeah, I'm on YouTube. You on YouTube?" Holy crap.
It's gotta be. I mean,
I was so weirded out by it because it was just like hearing a bunch of fully grown men go, "You TikTok, I TikTok, you TikTok, I TikTok." It was like a different
TikTok,
language. It was
TikTok,
crazy.
TikTok, TikTok, TikTok.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: they're gonna get older, 6-7 years from now, and they're gonna be like, "Yo, you TikTok?" To be like, "Get out of here, old man." TikTok's the old days.
New, like, "Yo, you flim flam?" Like, "Yeah, flim flam." They're gonna look at that and be like, "Weirdos, weird kids."
It's not even gonna be that. That's too close to TikTok. It's gonna be like,
"Do you?" Because I'm on.
No, it's not. It's what? Like,
oh, right.
What?
I like this new model that you've created because obviously this is a platform you've made because it sounds like a Crendor sound.
When I become an entrepreneur of like applications in a few years, just remember when you start using it's mine.
I will remember that. I will remember that. So also this week, I had the revelation that no matter what, you will always, always, always be the child of your parents. Let me explain.
All right.
So, as you all know, you specifically, I guess I was talking to the audience there. I don't know who I was talking to. As you all know, my car is in the shop. So I've just been walking to the office and trying to do all that.
Is it fixed yet?
Well, no. So let's talk about that for a minute.
All
My
right.
insurance company was like fighting with the repair guys, and because they didn't want to pay as much as the repair guys wanted. And so the insurance company then just sent me a check. And we're like, well, you could pay the difference. I was like, what? So they sent me a check, but then didn't inform the repair guys. So I waited a few days thinking my car was going to be ready, and then I just drive down there and, like, you know, get my car. And I called and was like, hey, what's up? And they're like, oh, the insurance company never contacted us, so we're just sort of sitting around. And I was like, what? So finally, I guess I get it. I'm going to get it this week some point. But I guess it was just sitting there a whole week. So that's cool.
Huh.
Anyway, I've been walking, back and forth to the office. My mom was like, hey, take your father's car. You can use it to get around if you need to go to, like, the grocery store. You need to go do anything. I was like, all right, cool. That's fine by me. Thank you for allowing me to have the car. So I proceeded to go to the office one day, park my car there. I showed up, I don't know, like 2 p.m. I was just going to, like, do a few things and leave. I come out after I'm done. No car there. Like, what? And I thought I maybe was crazy and maybe I left it at home and I just walked because I've just been walking. And so maybe I would, like, dreamt. I have no idea what I thought at the time. I was like, what? And then I panicked. I was like, wait, did someone steal my dad's car? And I was like, oh, no. And then I was like, wait, did someone just tow my dad's car? Why would they? So I couldn't figure out what had happened. And I, like, panicked. I called the guy who we're renting the office from. I was like, I don't know what's going on, dude. And he was like, oh, my God. It was towed. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, there's a guy there, and if he doesn't recognize cars that park inside the lot, he tows them. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, he's kind of a pain in the ass. He does that kind of thing. If you don't have a card that says that you're supposed to be, like, one of those, like, rear window, like, you stick it in the rear view window.
Yeah.
Or mirror. I don't know, window, whatever. You know what I mean. You stick the little tag. So he's like, if you don't have one of those, he tows your ass. I'm like, are you? Okay. So what now? And he's like, well, first you got to find out where it was towed to. I'm like, oh my God. He's like, there's this number. You can call it. They'll get all the information for you. I was like, all right. So I call the number and they're like, hello, sir. This is Bruffy's Towing. And I'm like, hi, Bruffy. My name is Jesse. I'm looking for a car. And I, like, try to describe the car to them. And they're like, we don't have that in the system. Like, okay, are you sure? Because I'm pretty sure you towed it. And they're like, well, do you have the VIN number? I'm like, I do not. Like, do you have the license plate? I'm like, I do not. It is not my car. It is my father's car. And they're like, all right, well, all I got to do is bring your license that is registered to the car and come down. I'm like, I am not the guy who owns the car. It is my father. And they're like, well, you're going to need your father to come help you. I'm like, can I just get the VIN number? And they're like, sure, but you have to call back. I'm like, okay, fine. So I then call my parents. I'm like, Mom, do you have the VIN number for Dad's car? And she's like, what happened? Like, the car, I think, got towed, and I'm trying to verify that it got towed. And she's like, well, I don't have the VIN number. I'm like, oh, my God. So it's now like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night, and we're looking for this VIN number, and she finally finds it on the insurance. She's like, okay, I have it. She sends it to me. I type it out in my phone on my little notepad where I type everything. And then I call the guys back at Bruffy's. I'm like, hey, hi, I have the VIN number. And it's a different person this time. And I'm like, oh my God. So I have to re-explain everything, give them the VIN number. And they're like, all right. So, just give me the last 4 of the VIN number. That's all I need. Don't need the rest of it. I'm like, okay. So I said the last 4. They're like, yep, we have the car. Do you have your license on you? I'm like, it is not my car. It is my father's car. I don't have the license. I only have my license. Like, do you have the plate number? I'm like, nope, I don't have it. I've never once looked at the plate number. I cannot help you there. Like, all right, we're going to need the full VIN number. I'm like, all right, I guess, okay. So I pull the phone away from my face. And the notepad screen was still on, apparently. And my beard erased the VIN number. So now I'm on the phone. I'm like, I think I erased the VIN. I'm so sorry. I'm so dumb. I think I erased the VIN number. And they were like, uh-huh. I'm like, no, you think I'm lying to you. I'm not lying to you. I literally just erased it. And I don't know how to, there is no undo. I don't know how to get it back. I can call my parents, like, you know what, sweetie, you know what? Just come down here. Here's our address. Bring your license, bring your paperwork, bring all the stuff, and then we'll deal with it here. I'm like, oh my God. So I'm like, Mom, hi. She's like, what is it? I'm like, yeah, so I'm going to need y'all to come down here and get me and drive me to the tow yard or wherever. And my mom's like, oh my God, okay. So she's like, I have to be up tomorrow morning early to go to the doctor's, but like, all right, I guess this is what I'm doing now. I'm like, thank you, Mom. So then she comes down, picks me up. She has all my dad's. So my dad clearly was not having it. He was definitely angry because he was already like, they probably ruined the front of the car when they towed it. And I'm like, yeah, your 2002 like falling apart car is certainly, that's the problem. I was like, Dad, if there's a problem, I will literally have it repaired. I will pay to fix it. Do not stress. But obviously he wasn't having it. So my mom came to get me, and she's tired and all messed up. And like, she does not drive at night. She just doesn't. And so the phone was like, follow the route to, and so it led us, this is like 20 minutes away, this place. And we had to get on the highway. My mom does not drive on the highway at night. She's already like losing her mind. I have to like collect all this information, find all this stuff. We finally get to this place. We go inside, and the guy, it seemed like this dude was used to people coming in and trying to fight him for their cars back. So he already kind of had like this attitude of like, oh boy, here we go. I have never been so defeated. I walked up to this guy just like, hello, sir, I'm here to get my car. And he was like, yeah, okay, what can I do? It's like, here's all the information. And he's like, okay, I'm going to need this. I was like, here it is. He's like, I'm going to also need, I'm like, here's this thing too. He's like, okay, it's been $157. Like, all right. It's just, I wasn't even going to fight. I was so, it was like, I don't know, at 10 p.m. at this point. I was so beat down. I was just like, yeah, okay. So I got all this information for the card, paid for it. The guy was like, all right, so you got to drive back down literally to where I had started the night. And across from where our office is like an impound lot. And it was in there.
Huh.
And so I had to go all the way back to that spot. And he's like, yeah, just press the call box, and then a guy will be out to meet you. I'm like, okay. So we drive all the way back, and I'm like, well, at least I can be in the car with my mom and make sure she gets home. I'm like, I'm fine with this, right? She's not used to driving at night. Like, this is fine. We get all the way back, and then I get to the call box, press the button, and there's another car in the lot with us. And that guy's like, yo, dude, I already pressed it. They're sending a guy out. Don't worry, should be here in like 5 to 10 minutes. I was like, okay, cool. So I guess there's someone else waiting for a car. So I go sit in the car with my mom, and then a tow truck pulls up, and I get out of the car and hand the guy the paperwork, and I look up. The guy I hand it to is the dude who was just in the other building. So we literally met a guy in one place, then waited for him in another place. So then I go, he's like, yeah, your car, it's in the back on the right. I'm like, okay. So I walk into a pitch black junkyard. Like, it is, there are car parts everywhere, and the car is somewhere in the back right. It is pitch black. I have to like get the light on my phone as I'm searching for this damn car. And I see in the back corner, the car's there when I sort of turn on the, the light whatever that thing is,
Yeah.
like the like boop boop. My brain just died. The alarm. Oh, it was a long day, and so I go to look for the alarm, and I see the lights blink. I'm like, oh, okay, well there it is. I walk over, and there's like half a beat up car in front of it. I'm like, oh my God. So I have to like back out kind of sideways around a beat up car, take it out. The minute I get out of the parking lot, my mom's like, stop, let me see the front of the car. Oh my God. So clearly my dad was like, check the front of the car, check the front of the car, check, they damaged the car. So my mom was like, it's all right. I was like, thank you. And then the first thing I did is I drove and got a milkshake. I was like, I don't give a shit about anything anymore. And I realized as I was drinking that milkshake, I have not felt that way since like I was in trouble as like a high schooler. You know what I mean? Like where your parents had to bail you out of some dumb shit you did. And this was that. It was the same feeling. And I was like, I can't. I'm an adult. I'm an adult. And this is happening. I'm grateful my parents were there. It made it a whole lot easier. But also, it made me realize, like, oh my God, this sucks. Like, I will never not be their kid. I am permanently their child. Forever. I will always be a little boy. And I was like, God damn it, this sucks. And I just drank that milkshake like, ugh. Yeah. So that was
like
a whole day of my life gone.
73, and they'll be like 95. Like, Jesse, to pull your pants up and tuck in your shirt.
I mean, that's the problem. Is that's like the way, I think it's that way forever. And I get it. Like, I get it now when they're always like, you'll always be our little boy. Like, that kind of stuff. I get it. Because it's true. No matter what, if they're doing it right, I suppose, they're always taking care of your dumb ass. Because you're never not going to make mistakes in life. And
That's
so
true.
I guess having parents around to take care of your stupidity, like, works. But also, all it did was make me be like, all right, I don't want to drive this car anymore. Like, I've already caused enough trouble. Like, it doesn't make any sense for me to drive this car around. Can I just give it back to him? Mom was like, it's already too late. You might as well just keep driving it. I was like, I don't know. I hate this car. And so then at some point this week, I got a text message from my mom. She was like, hey, so you know your dad's car? I'm like, yeah. She's like, well, I read that right now dealers are buying back old cars because they're running out of cars for renting or whatever, or leasing. And if you want to sell your car back to the dealer, you could probably make some money. And then you could just keep your dad's car. I was like, what? She's like, yeah, you just keep dad's car and then you can just sell your car back. And I literally replied, LOL, no. I was like, nah, I'm never going to do that. No, I'm fine.
Just take that car from 2002. There you go.
Take this car that literally, as you drive it, the back shakes. Like,
Some might call that a feature.
take this
The back
20-year-old
shakes,
car and
unsold.
just like, yeah, your 2018, don't even worry about it. That's garbage car. Oh my God. Yeah, it was a week. It certainly was a week, and I, honest to God, do not wish it on anyone. It was comical, but also what a hassle. Like, I'm fortunate enough that I had the $157 lying around to pay for it. Because if I was going paycheck to paycheck, I'd be done. I'd be ruined.
Yeah,
I would have been one of those Crime Stoppers where, like, my car got towed. I went back to the office and found that dude who towed it and beat him to death. Like, if I didn't have the money, I would, like, I know who this dude is. Like, if I ever see him again, I don't know what I'm gonna do because I'm so mad at him. But, like, at least I can handle it. If I couldn't, and he, like, prevented me from getting to work to earn a living for, like, I don't know, my 3 kids or whatever, I would have lost it on this guy. Oh. So that's what happened to me this week.
Man, that's a trip.
It was. It was.
Trip not very far.
Ironically,
also-
no. Most of it was driving to a place to pay a guy money and then come back, and it all took place roughly in like a 3-block area. Except for the one part where we had to like leave the entire city. So dumb.
Well, you know what? It's not about how many hours you had to wait and how many miles you had to walk and how many people you had to talk to. It's about the friends you made along the way.
The friends I made, I think, at the end of the day, I once again reaffirm my mom's pretty ride or die. I will say that. I'm gonna shout out to my mom for being ride or die. I want to say that she's always been there for me. Shout out to you, Mom. Thanks a lot. No one ever says that. Everyone's like, my homie's a ride or die. No one's like, shout out to Mom, ride or die.
Ride or die, Mom. Ride or die.
Damn, my mom goes hard. She showed up when I needed her the most. Shout out to my mom.
Well, thank you.
Oh, I know she's going to listen to this and be like, that's my boy.
It's like how you ended like an episode of like our thing. It's like, that's my boy. It's like
Yeah, roll credits. The end.
Is that all your weekly adventures? You have other things?
I have other things, but one of them is a long dream, and I feel like I should save it for next time.
All right, save the dream.
Yeah. Save the dream.
Save the dream, save the world.
Damn. Well, you know what else you can save?
It's a good segue.
Thank you. Some money. Instead of eating all of that pre-processed, pre-garbo.
Yuck.
That's right.
Get that pre-garbo out of here.
Instead of all the nonsense and prepackaged whatever, you can actually eat fresh meals made by you at home without having to deal with all the hassle of going out, especially right now. Man, LA is once again under a mask thing. So, like, it's a mess, right? So be safe, but also be healthy. HelloFresh is going to get you fresh, pre-measured ingredients, mouth-watering seasonal recipes delivered right to your door. It cuts out stressful meal planning and grocery store trips so you can enjoy cooking and getting dinner on the table in about 30 minutes or less. Try HelloFresh's quick and easy meals, 15 to 20-minute dinners, breakfast on the go, and more easy options perfect for your busy lifestyle. HelloFresh offers 50 menu and market items each week, including ready-to-eat salads, sandwiches, and soups. HelloFresh is high-quality, fresh ingredients, all sourced directly from growers and delivered from the farm to your front door in under a week. Contact-free, of course. HelloFresh offers the flexibility you need to easily customize your orders as well, and you can get an app that will do it all within minutes. Easily change your delivery day, your food preferences, the plan size, or skip a week if you need to. All you got to do right now to get on the HelloFresh train, which let me tell you, that's pretty much been most of my COVID, is HelloFresh. It's delivered. I got the smallest package they have, which is basically like it's meals for two. So it's, I can eat it for dinner and then have the leftovers the next day for lunch. It works really, really well. And they're simple. There are recipes an idiot even like me can make. All you got to do is go to HelloFresh.com/Cox14 and use code Cox14 for up to 14 free meals plus free shipping. It's that simple. Go to HelloFresh.com/Cox14 and use code Cox14 for 14 free meals plus free shipping. HelloFresh, it's America's #1 meal kit. Also today we're brought to you by Babbel. The summer is here and all of us are thinking about traveling. We are all hoping soon to be able to do so. Some of us are just already doing it. And, it's about time we all travel to destinations abroad, right? Everyone's thinking about it. I know I am. I keep thinking about all the places I would rather be than in my home. Babbel is here to help you get there easier, right? Because if you want to travel overseas, one of the biggest impediments is the language. If you don't know key phrases or things to get around or things to say, it could be harder. And Babbel is here to make it easy. From ordering in restaurants or asking directions to gaining a deeper understanding of the culture, Babbel makes the whole process of learning a new language addictively fun and easy. With bite-sized lessons you can actually use in the real world, Babbel is a can't-miss travel essential. It is 15-minute lesson plans that make it a perfect way to learn something new on the go. Unlike that language class you took in high school, Babbel designs their courses with practical, real-world conversations in mind, not like those ones where they make you stand up in the front of class and like talk to each other, and you were like, "Donde está la biblioteca?" Unless, of course, you want to know where the library is, and then, that's fine. But I feel like when you're on vacation, your number one plan isn't like, "Where's the library?" or "Puedo ir al baño?" Like, whatever. Other language learning apps use AI for their lesson plans, but Babbel lessons are created by over 100 language experts. Their teaching methods have been scientifically proven to be effective. With Babbel, you can choose from 14 different languages, including Spanish, French, Italian, and German. Plus, Babbel speech recognition technology helps you improve your pronunciation and accent. There are many, many ways to learn on Babbel. You can get podcasts and games and videos and stories and even live classes. Right now, when you purchase a 3-month Babbel subscription, you can get an additional 3 months for free. That's 6 months for the price of 3. Just go to babbel.com and use promo code Cox. That's BABBEL.com, code Cox. All right, Crendor, let's go to Tropical Sun's Gas. Crendor, the traffic out there.
Traffic is going along right now. We're cruising along the North Pole. And it looks like there's a backup. Polar bears and penguins are waiting to get into the cave. And Santa is way behind them. He's in his sleigh. Some people wondering what Santa does in his off time. Well, he's stuck in traffic. He's behind the penguins and the polar bears today. They're all trying to get into the cave. What's inside the cave? Who knows? Could be toys. Could be, food. Maybe they're just trying to get some food in there. Could be deep dish pizza, could be hot dogs, could be spaghetti. We don't know. Who knows what's in that cave, but they all want to get in that cave. And, I don't know how I got here. Back to you.
Spaghetti in that cave? You know what? I'm not even going to question it.
Don't question it.
I will say, it isn't the North Pole, but I feel like it's very close. I saw an ad today for Alaska. It's like, "Come to Alaska. Get away from everything." And I was like, you know what? I'm kind of feeling that. I don't know what it was. Like, maybe I should just go to the wilderness of Alaska. I'd probably get eaten by a bear. One of those bears waiting for spaghetti just gets tired and looks at me. But, like,
yeah,
also...
it's possible. Or, like, hit by a moose or something.
Yeah, I mean, like, all those things are very possible to happen to me especially. But I just felt like, maybe now's the time.
Maybe it is.
Maybe it is. Maybe it's I become like an old man who lives in the wilderness. I'm like, I live in the frosted north now. And every time you tune in the podcast, Crendor's like, "Here's the wild thing I did today." And I'm like, "Today I fought with a bear. My very life. The bear thought he was going to get me, but I punched him in the snaz, I did. And then we kissed. I kissed that bear with my lips, I did. It's my girlfriend now. Her name's Belina."
Yeah, but like that's 1 week. What would happen the next week?
Yeah, that's just the first week. You're right. I get bored of it.
Yeah. But at least you'd have like a few weeks. You'd be like, "I broke up with the bear and now I date a moose."
Yeah. Well, I'm fickle like that.
Oh my God, I forgot. You sent me that TikTok guy that's like talking in tongues and like warping in portals.
The other night, I found a TikTok. This guy.
He's got like a David Lynch vibe to him.
Yes, he looks like if David Lynch designed a character based on him, but like cranked up to 11. And his videos are all like, "So today, I'm exposing the truths about the world around us. Hey, la camale, oh la balo." And it just goes on like that for the rest of the video. And you're like, what is this? And then he uses weird filters, or like walks up to people. He's like, "Do you like pants? Do you have pants on today?" And they're like, what? He's like, "Do you like pants?" It's wild.
There's one, he like lights a cigarette and he's just like, why do we walk? Why do we walk? You know, why do we walk? And who knows, the beach. Love it. That's it.
Say la camale.
I love it. If maybe I understand TikTok now.
It was the first thing I saw that I had to send to someone else. I literally was like, Crendor will love this.
He's like a portal filter. He's like, the portal is open. The portal is open. And then he like shows himself in the portal, and then he like, it's like using a filter, but then he just disappears. So he's like filming the sky in the filter, and it's just weird.
Again,
Crazy.
I saw it and was like, this is the most Crendor thing I've ever seen.
It was very me. I enjoyed it.
I knew of all the people in the world, I knew you would enjoy.
So that's the traffic.
Okay, let's go to weather.
Weather time. I figured we'll just go to Tokyo because it's Olympics, right? We can
It is
know
the
the
Olympics.
Olympic weather. All right, Tokyo, Japan. Tokyo Prefecture. What's that mean?
It's like a county, I guess would be the best way to describe it.
Oh, okay. Wait, so is this Tokyo County or are we in Tokyo?
Well, I mean, the prefecture of Tokyo has Tokyo in it.
Oh, okay. I got you. I get what you're saying. All right, Tokyo. Right now, 86 degrees as of 12:34 p.m. Japan Standard Time. I take it JST means Japan Standard Time. 90 degrees it's feeling like right now. High of 88, low of 73. Got a humidity of 53%, pressure of 29.64 inches, visibility 9 miles, winds at 8 miles an hour southwest. Dew point 67, UV index 6 of 10, moon phase waning gibbous. Waning gibbous moon. 4:44 a.m. sunrise, 6:50 p.m. sunset. And you got your 10-day for the upcoming Olympic stuff. You got 82 with thunderstorms, 86 partly cloudy, 91 isolated thunderstorms. Then you got 90, 90, 90 scattered thunderstorms every day. And then 88 thunderstorms, 90 thunderstorms, 87 thunderstorms. A lot of thunderstorms and a lot of hot weather. So I don't know how that's going to play out.
Sure.
But I did see a lot of Olympic people are like fainting from the heat.
I did. I mean, I've heard a lot of stories about things that are happening. So it sounds to me like it's not the greatest Olympics games. Olympics games? That's right. It sounds to me like it's not the greatest
Olympics games, but it is Olympics. That's the weather.
Okay, let's go to sports.
Sports, we've got the Olympics. Actually, we'll start with some other sports. Basketball, the Milwaukee Bucks, the NBA champions. Congratulations to the Milwaukee Bucks and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Glad the Bucks won. Big fan. Well, big fan is in. They're probably my second favorite team now.
Yeah, I was about to say, is that true? Is that true?
You know what? As like a Packers fan, I'm like, you know what? I'll adopt another Wisconsin team when they're doing stuff, might as well. Football's gonna be starting up a couple weeks. That's pretty fun. That's pretty exciting. And then hockey draft happened. Basketball draft's gonna be happening next week, and this week I guess technically. And baseball started the second half of the season, and the baseball trade deadline's coming up. A lot of stuff happened there. Padres acquire all-star Adam Frazier from the Pirates, so big trade deal there. And we got a few more days of the trade deadline before it hits, so there's going to be a lot more trades happening, definitely some with the Cubs. Over in the AL East, you got Boston and Tampa Bay. Up top, you got the White Sox, top the Central, with Cleveland 5 games behind. Houston, top the West. Top the East, you got the Mets. Central, you got the Brewers. And the West, you got the Giants with the Dodgers right behind. Olympics. So in the Olympics right now, they are happening. Did you watch the Olympic opening ceremony thing?
I watched clips of it, mostly to see them play like Chrono Trigger music in the background of the Olympics. I was like, this is so weird. I love it.
I didn't even know they were going to do that. And they're like, and here comes Zimbabwe. And it was like, boop. And I was like, is this Final Fantasy? Like, and I was like, is this, I don't even.
Yeah.
And then it was like, I was like, this is so weird. But I like it.
If I was gonna do that, I would demand that they let my country have its own. Like, you know, like we get to choose which our song is.
Yeah.
Because I would pick like some real gems from old RPGs, like some really weird ones.
It was also weird because they had like some countries like Italy, they have pizza, and like, oh man, here's France, they have the Eiffel Tower, and then they'd be like, here's this country had Chernobyl. It was like, oh, you go from like pizza and like the Eiffel Tower, like Chernobyl.
I mean,
It's
some
weird.
people, that's like the biggest thing that's happened to them.
Yeah, I was like, all right. But yeah, I saw that, and then currently the medals. So right now, China is in first with 13 medals. They got 6 gold, 2 silver, 5 bronze. United States in second with 5 gold, 3 silver, 4 bronze with 12 medals. Then third is a tie between Japan and Australia. However, Japan has 5 gold medals and 1 silver. Australia has 2 gold, 1 silver, 3 bronze. And then South Korea with 5 medals, 2 gold, 0 silver, and 3 bronze. Those are the top 5 according to Google.
Did you see that swimmer from Tunisia? That's the only thing I've really caught up on.
I did not. What was that?
Let me verify he was from Tunisia.
I just swapped at the athletes, and I do see him now. Tunisia swimming.
It was, yeah. This guy, so he was like in the 8th lane, and he came like a rocket and just destroyed in the 400-meter freestyle. And I was like, damn, that's pretty amazing. Considering most people don't associate Tunisia with, like, the high desert with swimming.
Yeah, that's true. That's like when Florida wins at hockey or something.
Right? I was like, damn, that dude just perfect timing. He even said in the interview, he said, like, you know, the day before he felt really good in the water, but today for some reason he felt lighter and better. Like he got in the water and he just like knew it was his time to win.
Yeah, okay, you know, you get that surge, that like competitive, like, yeah, I got this. This is my time to shine.
Right?
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he just had that. Plus, you know, you also need the athletic ability and training. And
yeah, I mean, oh yeah, no, like for sure.
It's not like you just show up like, you know what, I think I could do it. And you like go out and play like professional basketball or something. Like, well, all right, well, I had my one day.
I think I could do this.
Oh my God, like some of the other stuff I was watching, like ping pong or table tennis. Like it looks crazy. Like they serve and they're just like, they're all crunched up and they're like, bam, and then they're like, bam, 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 bam. And I'm just like, what the shit?
The guys who are like, yeah, they're so passionate.
I'm trying to think of what else I've been watching. I just put on like Olympics. And it's like it swaps between all the highlights, everything or whatever. There's like tennis was on. I was like, tennis is all right. There was I know basketball. Team USA lost their first game to France. There was like 3-on-3 games. Those were crazy to watch. It was like watching freestyle basketball. I love that. I was watching the freestyle basketball. It was neat.
Do they play the songs?
I wish they did. They did not. That would have really amped it up to another level.
I know that would have. I would have watched at that point.
Yeah. Then there's badminton. That was actually pretty crazy to watch. There was the diving, looked pretty crazy. I can't imagine diving. I can barely swim. I can swim, but like I hate it, you know?
I mean, I love swimming. I hate water, but I love swimming.
Oh yeah, I saw archery. Archery was pretty neat.
Archery is always fun because for some reason the archery does not look like how you imagine archery. Like in your mind, you think like dudes in Sherwood Forest, but in reality,
they got like
it's
high tech
they got
bows
glasses
and
like laser sights and shit. It's crazy.
I want an archery where they have to use old timey medieval bows.
Yes,
That's what
none of that
want.
wind resistance. Like if you win, the maiden's hot. No medals will be had this day. Only brides.
Yeah. I want that too. That'd be fun.
I would prefer that, yes.
So yeah, that's sports.
Okay, what is the big, I don't know, what are we calling this? The big fact. The fact
of the day. Let's see. We got two that I'm going to choose from here. One's kind of like whatever. It's a myth that people are either left-brained or right-brained. Pretty much you use both sides of your brain.
But can you not say that someone uses one side more than the other?
It says you may have been told at some point in your life that you're either left or right brain. The story goes people who are left brain dominant are more quantitative, logical, and analytical, while right brain individuals are more emotional, intuitive, and creative free spirits. However, this theory isn't true. On the contrary, most behaviors and abilities require the right and left sides of the brain to work together to achieve a common objective. So while you may have certain qualities and characteristics that define who you are, they have nothing to do with what side of your brain you use more.
I would say that it can also, like, I don't know. You know what? I don't know anything about the brain. I was just like, well, can't you tap into your more analytical, like, but I don't know.
Use your brain to use the analyze.
Yeah, clearly I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm no neuroscientist. I'd rather I'm over here like, well, I don't know that I 100% believe that. But clearly I have no more knowledge than I had coming into this conversation. So what the hell do I know?
I also want to read this one. Cats once delivered mail in Belgium.
That is the best fact I've ever heard.
In the 1870s, the city of Liège, Belgium, attempted to employ 37 felines as mail carriers. Messages were tucked into waterproof bags that the kitties would carry around their necks. However, while one cat apparently made it to the destination in under 5 hours, the other cats took up to a day to complete their journeys. Due to the fact that the cats weren't very reliable and definitely were not speedy, the service did not last very long.
That sounds right. Those cats are probably reading the mail all day. They went off to the woods somewhere to read the mail, like this guy. Ooh.
Or he's got a third of the way, like, I'm sleeping. This isn't worth it.
Yeah. I like my version where the cats can read, and they read our mail.
That's true.
I like my version. The cats have little mail uniforms, and they have little mail bags, and they talk to us. And they're like, hello, Meowster. Right? And they're
it's Monster Hunter.
Right. That's what it is. Right.
All right. Well, those are your facts.
Okay, what's your big news story of the day?
Big news story of the day. This one, we're going back to the roots of Florida man. Get ready. Are you ready?
I mean, I'm hanging in. I'm bated breath. Did you need me to say Florida man? Because we're there. I'm in it.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Well, now I'm doing it.
All right.
Oh, Florida man.
You're like, nah, I'm doing it, and then you didn't do it.
Well, I thought that I had already previously done it before.
No, you didn't.
Florida man.
Well, now you've already done it. All right, whatever. Florida man steals alligator from golf course, tries teaching it a lesson by throwing it on roof of bar.
I would love to know what that lesson is.
I don't either. I don't, like, what is the lesson he's trying to teach? Okay, here we go. Daytona Beach shores. A Florida man told police officers he was teaching it a lesson when he tried to throw a live alligator he had stolen from a miniature golf course onto the roof of a beachside cocktail lounge. The 32-year-old man was arrested early Thursday when Daytona Beach Shores police officers spotted him attempting to throw the gator onto the roof of the cocktail lounge located just off Highway A1A. The officers then saw the man take the alligator by its tail, hit it against the awning of the building, throw it to the ground, and stomp on it.
Oh, my God.
Shit? The man from Homestead, Florida, was taken into custody charged with possession and injury of an alligator, unarmed burglary of an occupied dwelling, theft, and criminal mischief. The man told officers that he had stolen the gator from an enclosure at a nearby miniature golf course. An online court docket showed no attorney for the man.
Online court docket said no one would take this man's case.
What the shit? Why is he like throwing the gator around? I thought he like threw it on the roof and that was it. But he's like stepping on it.
See, here's the thing. We thought when he said teach it a lesson, We thought it was like, that's why you don't get on top of roofs, Gator. And the reality is, this guy meant it like, I'm going to teach him a lesson, fist punch. And so now the question becomes, like, what did that Gator do to this man?
Yeah, what did that Gator do to this man?
I
And he's
don't
like,
think this
this
Gator
is
did
like an
anything.
unfair fight. Like,
Yeah.
let the Gator fight too, right?
I mean, I would say anytime a definite meth-using drunk guy from Florida fights anyone, it's already a disadvantage. Because that guy's powered by, like, ungodly strength.
Yeah. Also, this guy definitely looks like a meth using.
You don't even need to show me him to know that I know he looks like a meth user.
I'm gonna show you anyway, just to clarify your suspicions.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Here's how I knew he was a meth user immediately. What city is this?
Daytona Beach Shores.
There you go. Not Daytona Beach. Daytona Beach Shores. The minute you have to add that extra thing onto any major city that's in Florida, I know they kept the name because it sounded cool, but really it's the shores part that's the problem.
Yeah.
There are a lot of places in Florida that are just like Orlando Springs. And you know Orlando Springs is not Orlando, but they keep Orlando in the name so people still want to move there. But trust me, it is not Orlando.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, I knew he was a meth user right when it was like he threw the alligator on a roof. Like, that's already a telltale sign.
I mean,
Also,
well, obviously, yes. I mean, anytime you do anything with an alligator, there's already a problem.
I also have a question. Why does a miniature golf course, have an alligator? Yeah, I think everyone's ignoring this one.
I mean, you're right. I did. I didn't even think about that. You're right.
Like, why do they need a live gator? Is he just there to, like, sit in a cage and be like, wow, a gator? Is, like, he there? Like, I don't understand.
This is the crazy part. If this was any other place, I'd be like, oh, the gator is part of the attraction. You could go to see the gator. But it's Florida. There's gators everywhere.
Yeah.
That's no attraction. That's probably, if anything, just a gator who got in the golf park and then, like, they were like, should we get rid of it? Like, nah, that's a lot of work.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess
He lives here now. This is his home.
That's possible. It is Florida Daytona Springs or whatever. That's your big news story of the day.
All right. Well, that's it for us. Thanks so much for listening or watching. However you're enjoying this podcast. Crendor, I have no water. My throat is dry. All I have is this damn soda. I'm dying over here. Crendor, hit us with the socials.
We got youtube.com/CoxCrendor podcast. Listen to all the podcasts over there, all one word on the YouTube channel. Then cut off the podcast part, youtube.com/CoxCrendor. Find all the funny animations. Also, we're on Spotify. We're on iTunes. We're on SoundCloud. We're on probably some other places. Just search Cox and Crendor. Follow us on our own stuff. Twitch.tv/JesseCox, Twitch.tv/Crendor, YouTube.com/JesseCox, YouTube.com/Crendor. Facebook Jesse Cox, Facebook Crendor, Twitter Jesse Cox, Twitter Crendor, Instagram Notorious Cox, Instagram Crendor was taken, Patreon Jesse Cox, Patreon Crendor, and it's it.
Okay, that's it. We'll see y'all next time. And as always, wow. To be continued.